Hey guys, how's it going? Carl here with 100 for 100, where we bring you focused commander decks for $100 or less. Today we are bringing you the goodest boy, Mowu Loyal Companion. Now we're super hype on this little guy, and we're very excited to bring you the spicy Voltron build. Now Mowu reads 3 and a green for a 3/3 Trample Vigilance, and whenever a +1/+1 counter would be placed on Mowu, that many +1/+1/+1 counters are placed on him instead. So now Mowu differs from other Voltron commanders because he's going to allow us to bring +1/+1 counters to the table and beef him up very quickly. Now a couple of things to remember when we're playing a deck like this is you want to pick an opponent and latch onto them like a pit bull. If you spread the love around the table too much, you're just going to end up creating enemies and not really have a good chance of winning. Another note is since we're using Mowu as our win condition, we're going to be aiming for that 21 points of general damage to finish people off. So let's dive into the ramp package, which is going to let us ensure that we get Mowu out as quickly as possible. We have Soul Ring, Arbor Elf, Elvish Mystic, Gyre Sage, Draga Tree Speaker, Llanowar Elves, Overgrown Battlement, Rishkar Pima Renegade, which can also be used to pump Mowu. Now the earliest we're going to be able to get Mowu out is turn 2 with the Soul Ring. Other than that, we're looking to be aiming for a turn 3 play. Now after we get Mowu out, we're going to need to focus on pumping him up a bit, and we have quite the +1/+1 counter package to make sure that happens. Now I'm not going to go over all of them, but some of the good highlights are Predatory Hunger makes sure whenever our opponents cast spells, Mowu gets bigger. Bow of Nelia can be used each turn and has some other utility as well. Colonian Hydra, Soul's Might, Biogenic Upgrade, and Solidarity of Heroes can each double his power or more. Increasing Savagery puts loads of counters on him and can be reused. Evolutionary Escalation puts lots of counters on him and can be used politically to make some friends. Generous Patron puts a couple of +1/+1 counters on him, but also we can use that politically to pump our opponent's creatures, and works well with Evolutionary Escalation by drawing his cards. Now there's lots more +1/+1 counter cards in the deck, so be sure to check the link in the description for a full list. Next we're going to move on to the equipment items. These are nice because they're going to stay on the battlefield to pump Mowu even if he gets killed. Animation Module gets more +1/+1 counters on him. Armory of Iroas puts +1/+1 counters on attack. Fire Shrieker is really great because Double Strike is excellent in a Voltron build. Grafted Exoskeleton makes sure we can get those sneaky infect kills. And Ring of Colonia just gets him bigger every turn. So we're going to be making Mowu large, but we definitely need some protection so our opponents have a hard time removing him. And for that we have a survivability package for the little pup. Alpha Authority, Canopy Cover, and Swift Foot Boots each serve to give him Hexproof. Darksteel Plate, Heroic Intervention, Soul of New Phyrexia, and Inspiring Call each give him Indestructibility. Snake Umbra gives him Totem Armor, which is a form of Indestructibility. And Sporeback Troll and Rapid Vigor each give him Regeneration so we can keep him around. Now Mowu is our primary win condition, but to hedge our bets we're going to include some other creatures that we can attack with if Mowu is no longer an option. Experiment 1 works well with +1/+1 counter synergy, and he can keep himself alive. Pelt Collector gets Trample with +1/+1 counters. And Predator Ooze is indestructible and grows himself. Now we also have a couple of Planeswalkers to help this doggo get the win, and by now I'm sure you're wondering where Mowu's friend is at. So we're going to be using Jiang Yangu, the original version. We just feel like he's a little better than the new War of the Spark version because he can +1 and he has some other utility. Nissa, Voice of Zendikar, puts +1/+1 counters on our creatures, puts down dudes to block, and in the corner case where we can actually bomb her, draws us some cards. Speaking of drawing cards, we're going to move on to our card advantage section. We have a few different options to look at in our budget, and most of the items are going to help us refill our hand whenever we can recover from a board clear, so be sure to hold back on some of these pump pieces to use on Mowu on the next cast. Greater Good and Momentous Fall can sack Mowu in response to removal of board clears to get some value out of it. Harmonize is just good green card draw. Hunter's Insight, Rishkar's Expertise, and Soul's Majesty each can draw cards equal to his power. And Wildest Dreams, while not technically card draw, can get some of the pump spells we used earlier in the game back into our hand. We're also going to throw in Beast Within and Reclamation Sage to help deal with pesky permanents. Now to wrap up the deck, we're going to take a look at the lands. Blighted Woodland helps us ramp. Forge of Heroes, Oran Reef the Vastwood, and Lana War Reborn each pump Mowu, so does Opal Palace. Mosswort Bridge helps us dig through our deck to find the cards we need. Rogue's Passage is probably the best land in this deck as it allows Mowu to become unblockable and really get through for some damage. Slippery Karst and Tranquil Thicket each can cycle away if we don't need a land drop. Tectonic Edge and Ghost Quarter are mostly in this deck to deal with Maze of Ith, because we really don't like that card. And finally we have Scavenger Grounds for those pesky graveyard strategies. So guys, that's been our Mowu Loyal Companion, the goodest boy deck tech. If you liked the video and you want to see some more, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can see every video we upload. There's going to be lots more coming. Until next time y'all, this has been Carl with 100 for 100. Hope you all have a wonderful day and we'll catch you on the next one.